What's going on, guys? Bart here with Tully Television, and today we're going to be getting into a comic book review. The comic book that I'm going to be getting into ties into a current storyline that Marvel's doing. But before we get into all that, I want to thank all of you for stopping by, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, all that beautiful YouTube stuff. I hope that today is the day that I earn your subscription. But let's get into it today. Part of the Sins of Sinister story, Nightcrawlers number 1. And I'm going to run through the crew for you. Continuing writing duties from the Way of X Limited series to the Legion of X Limited series to Nightcrawlers here. Again, the Sins of Sinister story revolves around Sinister taking control of the X-Men and then the world through his mutation and splicing background and techniques that he's doing. Ever since Krakoa has started the resurrection process, he made sure that every time that there was a resurrection, somehow, someway, he was able to inject a piece of his DNA into everybody to then take control of them. And in the case of if anyone then decided to break away or rebel or things got away from him, he had clones of Myra McTaggart, who her mutant power is every time she passes away, the timeline resets. So Sinister's plan was to keep using Moira's clones to reset the timeline in case everything got out of hand. But during storming the Brotherhood, they wound up stealing the clones in the lab that Sinister uses. This particular issue and story is going to revolve around Mother Righteousness and the characters from the Legion of X story. I didn't even get into the crew. Writer Cy Spurrier, artist Paco Medino, cover artist J. David Ramos, cover artist Lionel Francis Yu, who I like a lot. Sonny Gao is also contributed to this cover, and where we basically start off is the Spirit of Variance taking over Banshee, Sean Cassidy becoming Vox Innis, and the new power that he has is that when he screams, the version of his penance stare is that it's the scream of variance, and that if you hear the scream, it will change a part of you or your personality. But he's here at the Sanctum Sanctorum in Manhattan, getting ready to basically protect it. But we have basically who's going to continue the story. We have a bunch of Nightcrawler spliced with other heroes like Wolverine here. But the character's name is called Wagnerine. Wagnerine. Webcrawler there, and then some other variations. Toad, Pyro, I think. Lady Fortune is a mix between Nightcrawler and Domino. And basically what they're here to do is to take control of all the hot spots that people can use to go against Sinister. We have Mother Righteousness here, Mother Righteousness and Vox Innis here. He used his scream to help convert some of these chimeras, as they are called, where it's two mutants' powers combined into one person. Vox Innis was able to convert some of those people over to him and Mother Righteousness side. They are trying to change stuff and go around and try to convert more people over, now they're trying to team up with Mother Righteousness and Banshee there as well. But as luck would always have it, oh yeah, there's always going to be a catch to all these things. I thought that this was a pretty cool scene. Wagnerine killing one of the clone Sinisters up here. There's supposed to be 4. Mister Sinister that we know, the one that Wagnerine just killed. The old man here is also a Sinister clone. And I'm going to have to kind of spoil a little bit because I didn't even get into the series yet. Mother Righteousness is also a clone of Sinister, but she isn't under the delusion that she's the original. And we see that each of these Sinisters have a different, motivation to what they're doing here. Basically to gain dominion, which is knowledge and power basically over everything. He basically thanks Mother Righteousness for helping him, even though she wasn't exactly trying to help him. But he puts himself into basically this protective thing. And again, they still continue to go collect things that they think that can help them break into his headquarters, take him out, and then they only really have to worry about the Sinister that we've known. What they decided to do was test the teleportation powers of these newer characters to see if they can teleport into the headquarters. But as we find out with the Peter Parker Nightcrawler combo, he doesn't make it. He just blows up on impact over here as he tries to teleport into the headquarters there. So we lose we lose one of our new allies. I was really hoping that he was going to survive to the end. But Mother Righteousness basically, knowing that the teleportation powers of these new allies, these new characters aren't exactly going to work, she decided to tell them to go search for some artifacts. This looks like the Darkhold, Thor's hammer that looks all broken up, Eye of Agamotto, Set the Serpent Crown, maybe Excalibur, Soulstone maybe, and that's basically where we end. She sends these characters, this new team. Oh, also that we see what happens to Dr. Nemesis and Nightcrawler too. I kind of bypassed that because you might be wondering, well, where is Nightcrawler, And they did come across him, but being that secondary mutation that he was getting during the Legion of X story, he kind of had... Dr. Nemesis has just watched over him. This is Nightcrawler. He's become basically a big beast, and we see Dr. Nemesis here basically taking care of him and looking out for him. And that's where they're at right now. We don't really know what happened to characters like Dust or... I don't even know if they really got into what happened to Legion or Juggernaut or any of these other characters that were involved with the Legion of X story. They probably won't too much get into that unless parts 2 and 3 get into where they have been. But how this goes, this story is 10 years after the initial takeover of Sinister. Issue 2 is going to be 100 years into that, and then issue 3 is going to be 1,000 years into that. I don't know how these characters are going to last that long in the story feasibly. Yeah, only time will tell to see how this story is going to play out and how it's going to wrap up, and where our team is going to go after that story. But, like I said, only time will tell. I want to thank you guys again for stopping by, liking, commenting, sharing. You let me know your thoughts and comments about the Sinister story down below. And until next time, peace, Nookums.